else, you use the whispers.
Okay.
It's on.
All right, I brought it with me.
Okay, this way.
Yeah, but if he was walking and talking, say something about this?
This is called the Nile Gate. What? This is called the Nile Gate. This one here was received the old.
No idea. I should have put my sweatband.
What is the name of this temple? Karnak. But this is not the original name. Original name is
Tie your jacket
Karnak.
around your waist so you won't be so
And
hot.
this Kha is a difficult
You're not
word
hot, really?
in American tongue. So when we
Okay.
said
I was worried about you.
Thank you.
they changed the word to Karnak. So anyway, we are taking it as you wish, you guys. You spoil our language, but we can. But come to our country. Anyway, this kind of temple was great and having big number of temples inside. It's not only one temple; it is a group of temples. And the value of this temple that it has a lot of hieroglyphic written on. So now we can know the history of Egypt from what was written on the walls of the Temple of Karnak. So the value of this temple for 2,000 years they came here and building temples and leaving a lot of hieroglyphic, and from that hieroglyphic we knew the history of about 2,000 years. This temple here had this 2,000 years of history, and actually this is the value of Karnak. People who are writing the history of Egypt, they must come here to Karnak to read the hieroglyphic and write books. So that is the that is the value of this temple. This kind of gate was left unfinished. The last gate was made and it was left unfinished by the king Nectanebo 600 years before Christ. So and thank God, he left it unfinished. You know why? Because behind this kind of gate we found the ramp used by the ancient Egyptians to go to all of these kind of heights and add a lot of blocks and all of, like the pyramids. Remember the pyramids? They were using all of these kind of ramps around all of these high constructions, and by this way they could be able to reach any height. And what happened that we still have this kind of ramp found here beside this kind of gate. So by this way we are very, very lucky to find the way how the ancient Egyptians made all of these high constructions by making this kind of mud bricks ramp around each column, around each gate, around all any high construction was made by this kind of ramp. Come to see this ramp, please, this way.
Okay.
Thank you.
This way, 80.
We finish the tour and be back to rest in the hotel until my friend police come.
Una gaseosa así.
Here you can see the ramp used by the ancient Egyptians to go to any level. So by this way they go to the top, and then after they finish, they add all of the artwork at the end. But anyway, this was halfway. The king died, so that's why this gate was left unfinished. And thank God he died, and he left us this kind of ramp to show us how the ancient Egyptians built all these high constructions, columns or pylons or any kind of high construction. Yep. Come this way. Do you see the mud bricks?
Yeah.
You could see also the holes in this kind of gate, and inside these holes they have the flags and the symbols of the god Amun-Re. So this was made just to show the symbols of Thebes. This city was called Thebes in the ancient times, and as I mentioned to you, now we call it Luxor. But the real name Thebes. This way. Well, yeah, we have estimation of something where we are related from both the people who lived in this period. We don't have exact almost every statue having the figure of every pharaoh who made it. And they even leaving their names there. It's a great honor to come to visit the Temple of Karnak by every pharaoh. Listen, how many columns here? Can you see the other side, this side, and only one was a symbol. Can you see only one was a symbol? But if you count the pieces, the other ones, they are almost like 10 columns. 10 columns were left here by a pharaoh called Taharka. And that Taharka, 800 years before the Christ, he became a pharaoh and ruled Egypt. And he was Nubian. Nubia was enemies, and Syria was enemies, and Libya were enemies. So what happened that this one, he was loyal to Egypt, and that's why he was granted the throne of Egypt, and he was very happy, and he came here and he left a column to say thank you, God Amun, to put me as the Pharaoh of Egypt. Even he was a Nubian god. Yeah. So anyway, the column here, if you know the meaning of the column here, it is a way to show gratitude. So he wanted to tell the God, I honoring what you did for me and making me the king of the land, and that is why the columns here expressing his how he is very, very thankful for this kind of way that the God allowed him to be the king of the land. Amun-Ra is always the one. This one. Nothing to shave here. sit down here. The ceiling was over this room we will see. Another room here, it's called the Great Hypostyle Hall. It was for use. Okay, listen guys, we have two styles of the way how the Egyptians have statues of themselves. You could see some statues having left leg ahead like this.
Yeah, so we noticed that. Yeah.
So why the left leg ahead?
That's what I'm just trying to figure out because
Left leg here, it is the side of the heart. They believe the heart is the machine of the body, not the brain. They don't care about the brain. When they were making this kind of embalming the body, they took out the brain from the nose and they throw it away. And there is no any more kind of headache or anything like this. So this what for them is the heart. Is the machine of the body. The most important piece of the body is the heart. Anyway, when you see someone this way with the left leg ahead, you know this movement showing the person during life. While when you see a statue this way, with closed legs and crossed arms, it shows the person after death. Because this shape was the shape of Osiris. And who was Osiris? Osiris was the god of the dead. Yeah. So anyway, all of them, when they died, they wanted to be like Osiris, because Osiris actually was killed by his brother. Wow. And that is a great kind of story that his brother was very jealous because Osiris was a great god and the people loved him so much, and he was like a king of the land. What happened that he planned to get rid of him, the evil brother. He planned for that. He opened his house for a nice party, and he brought his son, his family, and everyone. And Osiris asked the people to. There was a kind of present, a coffin for you to see if it fits you. It is yours. What happened that this kind of coffin was not matching anyone except the good one, Osiris. So what happened that the evil one put him in this coffin and throwing the coffin in the river, and by this way he believed that he got rid of his good brother. So the evil one said his name. He was advised by some of his followers to bring back the body and cut Osiris in pieces. So they went back behind the coffin and they brought the coffin and they opened the coffin and they started cutting the body of Osiris in pieces. How many pieces?
9.
12.
Huh?
40 pieces?
So 17 pieces. Cutting them in all of these evil ones. So, and by this way they believed that Osiris would never come again. And by this, so what happened that Isis, she was the widow. Isis, she took her baby, Horus, and what happened that she could be able to hide Horus until he grown up, and she told him, your uncle killed your father, go for revenge. So what happened, the fight started between the boy and his uncle, and he could be able to get rid of the evil. His name was Set, and he and his mother Isis, they started searching for the pieces of the missing husband, missing father. So how many pieces they found?
10.
They found 16, not 17.
Oh, just about.
One piece was missing. The most important one. Which one?
Heart.
Much more important. much more important.
The heart?
Left foot. No,
The left.
That is very important.
it was eaten by a fish. Anyway, so what happened that they gathered again, the family, Isis and Osiris and their son Horus, and it was a beautiful gathering, and Horus started to be the king of the land, and the people loved him so much, and every pharaoh was entitled the successor of Horus. Every pharaoh wanted to be a good one like Horus. So all of them having this title, the successor of Horus. Okay. So anyway, the shape like this for every dead one, because it was like Osiris. So everyone shaped like this one, they die. So actually the mummies were found like those we saw in the museum in Cairo. So actually what happened, that many people, they died with their hands like this, or like this. Or so what happened, they forced them, when they embalmed them, to have their arms like this and wrap them in linen. Egyptologists, when they were working, and if they found one of these kind of bodies, they go unwrapping the mummy, and when they reach the arms goes like this.
Oh,
Yeah,
they
and
were
they're
wanting
slapping
to be.
them when they are there. So anyway, this is something always they found when they go down deep to the end of this wrapping with linen. Linen was used to wrap the body of the mummy, and by this way, this shape is the shape for the dead people. So, and also the people who died, they were titled by Osiris. So everyone was entitled by Osiris. If you want to mention to any dead person, you have to say Osiris Ramses II, Osiris Tutankhamun, Osiris Cheops. So the word Osiris started to be like a name for all the people died, like what we say today, the deceased.
Okay.
We have this kind of position. Can you see the position of the body of the one after death? You could see how the body is having this arms like that, and the closed legs, and this way is the way of Osiris. When Osiris died, he was like that. Okay, come this way, everybody. Another room here.
So they have, this is mother and child also.
This is the his wife.
Oh.
You know, he is Ramses, and
Okay.
here is his wife Nefertari. Guys, come inside this room here.
Excuse me.
Tu as tes photos sont là de ce côté. Voilà, les photos vont hyper mignonnes de ce côté.
Come over here, Eddie.
Hello? Sorry? Five.
This is the great hypostyle hall of Karnak. it's recorded by that name. It is the largest religious room in any religious building in the world. And all the columns here, like a forest of columns, you see them? All the columns here, they are 136 columns. 136 columns collapsed. Remember when I told you the story of that great French guy, Legrand? So he came here for 25 years to fix what happened for all of these columns. So what happened that he could be able to stay that long, and he could be able to fix it back, all of them. If you look at each one, you could see the damage. You could see the damage. Can you see the original hieroglyphic and the other pieces of the stone? It's not original, so you could see that. He made all of this great job, and we honored him, Legrand, to have them back, erecting them all. Can you see that? If you look at the 2 rows above you, can you see the 2 rows above you? They are higher than the rest of the other columns. And there was a roof to here. It was having a roof, this kind of roof. And what happened is that this kind of roof, it was completely covered with this kind of ceiling. And what happened, the ceiling collapsed, but we still see the windows. Can you see all of these slits? They were used like windows to bring light to this dark room after this kind of room closed by 2 doors, one on each side, and by this way it was completely dark except the beams of light coming from this kind of slits. Look at the capital of each column. Can you see the capital of each column? It's a very large one, as you see, and they say if this kind of one here, people, they can go up for like 100 people, they can stand over this one. And this kind of calculation, they show how large every column here, and how the 2 of the temple here, of this kind of temple, they actually having this great number of columns. And if you look at each one, you see the name of Ramses. Who made this? Ramses II. Stamped his name in all the columns, as if he is the one who made all of this kind of temples. So what happened, that Ramses II, he used to have this kind of habit of making himself in cartouches, stamping his cartouches everywhere. And when they dig under the ground, and now they see monuments, always they say Ramses II. The stupid Egyptologists, they don't know that's this kind of story, that he used to add his name in all of these kind of places, including this one. They say this is a great kind of room, and it is the largest religious room in the world, and it is called the Great Hypostyle Hall of Karnak. It's the largest ever. Listen, guys, they have another stupid calculation. They say the people, they can hold the base of the column, about number of people, like 11 people could hold the base of the column, and by this way it shows how the column was very large, and the base of the column also having a number of 12 people holding hands to encircle the column. So this is what we do. We try to do this again to make it less than 12 or less than 11, and holding hands together. If you are sharing us, Yes, come here and put your arms like this. And let's have maybe 9 or maybe 10 to break this kind of number. And by this way, you will have your name written in books. Do this. Anybody willing? But stretch your arms, please.
You want to go up there?
Color.
You know, to touch it. And then you're going to make a circle.
And
All right,
hold,
we need more
Right, there you
volunteers.
go.
hold the hands.
Right, there you
We
go.
need more volunteers.
Hold the hand. No, no, hold the
Come
hand.
on. Anybody else?
Hold hands, everybody. Hold hands and yeah. Get inside. Get inside.
Get inside.
Hold hands. Hold
Oh, excuse me.
inside. Yes.
Anybody want to get a pic? Amy, can you get a pic? Look like we're under arrest.
We got in trouble in Egypt.
Yeah. Hold the hands. Hold the hands. Hold the hands. Okay. Yeah. Hold the hands. Hold the hands, everybody. We need one here. We need.
See, I'm tall.
Oh, yeah, you got this.
بعد ده بص ده ريستوريشن يا حبيبي. طب معلش بس هخلصها واجيلك. Okay, everybody. Let me count. Okay, starting from here. 1, 2.
Yeah.
7, 8. Unbelievable. 8. This is, never had it before. Thank you.
Yeah, I had long arms, so I could. I'm.
Can you see the colors, guys?
Almost
Can you
2
see the
feet.
colors? They still have the colors.
Yeah, I see that.
Unbelievable.
Blue, red, I see that.
Beautiful colors here. So all of the temple was having all of this color. Exposed to the weather, done. We don't have this kind of color anymore. In many temples are not survived anymore. So there is always what they call graffiti. Some people, they were here and coming in a time which is not, it's forbidden now, which was very neglected, and many visitors, they came here adding their names, and by this way you could see different names, old ones and not new ones.
Has anybody ever tracked them down to figure out who did it?
Yeah. Anyway, we have a lot of restoration for all of these columns, and we can go all the way up and to see all of these names, but we don't touch it. Okay, guys, this way. Deity.
Yes.
This is a good one to take a 360 photo when you come back. Oh, you know what? I left my water.
Maybe the weight focus in the middle, like that. So still the balance of this. Even you come. Where did you play?
Yeah, it was
Good. Like this way. So this is the way. How Philippines stand up.
Después de tocar el muelle,
That obelisk for the people is different. Oh, the building on this side.
you do it all. But if I need some, I'll drink some of yours.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm like, that was gone. Quick.
What's that? What?
I said, that went quick.
Your water?
Yeah. I didn't drink it, but, it wasn't even open.
Oh, yeah, that's why somebody else picked it up.
Yeah.
Christianity. Cross. And what is the symbol for Judaism? And what is the symbol for Islam?
Crescent. Yeah.
And what is the symbol of Ra?
Sun.
The symbol for Ra is the obelisk. Look at the obelisk here. Can you see? That obelisk was the symbol of Ra at the beginning, and by this way they had a pyramidal shape. And that pyramidal shape, 4 sides, and the 4 sides were covered with gold or silver to reflect the light of Ra. Wow. And by this way, the 4 sides, they will light the 4 corners of the world. And that was the beginning. But later on, those pharaohs, with their glory, they came here to the big temples like the Karnak, and adding a big one, huge one, giant one, this one here, this obelisk here, as you see, it was to show the glory and to show how this pharaoh was great, and how he is honoring the god Amun. And by this way, the function of the obelisk started to be different than before. At the beginning, it was in the center of the temple, and it was with these 4 sides in order to spread the light of Ra. You know, listen guys, Ra here, it means life. You know, if you have a grass in your garden and you don't have lights sits on, it will die. You know that? It will die. So here the light is life, and light is life, and Ra is also light. And by this way, we have a great kind of meaning behind the obelisk. We made a lot of them, and a lot of them were taken outside Egypt. So we have like 6 or 7, but how many found in the world? We have one in London, one in London, one in New York, one in France, and one in Istanbul, and how many in Rome? 13. 13 obelisks were taken from Egypt. When that was happened? Roman time, when they were occupying Egypt, and the Roman emperor sitting there and saying, "Send me obelisks from Egypt." And you don't believe this. Over the triple of what they took from us, sinking in the water of the Mediterranean. It is to encourage you to make a dive and go inside the sea and bring more and take more. It is yours if you can go there. But listen guys, how heavy each one? 300 tons. Each one 300 tons. And what kind of material of the stone here? Granite. Granite from where? Aswan is the place for the granite, and they used by boats. They bring them here, and they were over sand, and they were digging under the sand to get the obelisk with the upright position. It was a very manual way, no machines. It was only a manual way to erect the obelisk like what you see now.
Yeah. So is the Egyptian government suing to get some of them back, or they're just there?
Actually,
it is
Rome
very,
says it was a gift.
It is very difficult to have this. We're trying now to get the valuable pieces like Nefertiti, like also the Rosetta Stone, and like all these kind of pieces. We ask them, we're begging them to have them back. They say no. So you have no way to take it back from them. The obelisks, actually, they are too heavy to be moved, so they are still there. And actually, we are having very few of them. Who is the biggest one? The biggest one in which country? In Rome. And we have a big one here made by the Queen Hatshepsut. the Queen Hatshepsut, she was the first woman ruled Egypt,
Can you open
and
it up
she
for
could
me?
be able to build 2 obelisks for her father Amun, and one of them now is the highest one in Egypt. Come and see it here. Look at this. Can you see in between the blocks? Look at them. Can you see the obelisk here in between the blocks? That is the tallest one in Egypt.
Oh, wow.
The tallest one in Egypt.
Oh.
And listen, everybody, this obelisk was under the sand, and part of the obelisk was above the sand, and that is guided us to this temple to dig here for discovering the temple here, and how many acres here. 60 acres.
60. Yeah.
This temple here is the largest temple in the world, and it is 60 acres, and thank God that was because of this obelisk showing us that there is a place there to dig around, and they started digging around because the sand was covering it all, and what happened, we could be able to dig all of the 60 acres, and we have all the columns and all the temples as you see behind you here.
So they know for sure it doesn't go beyond the 60 acres then?
No, the fence. Can you see the fence?
Yeah,
That
we still
fence it
digging.
is just to show the limit of this temple. You know, you can't go more because it is having original fence. You see that one, the mud bricks one, the black one, yeah? Okay. Come this way, Katie.
Okay. Next time. Next week.
Another picture you take for Hatshepsut obelisk. Can you see the tallest one in Egypt? Can you see it? Can you see it? Can you take a picture? Take a picture of the tallest one.
Excuse me. Oh yeah. Almost have to go back.
This thing is huge.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, this is fascinating.
Bueno.
This is the last room in every Egyptian temple. You can see how the temple was in a straight axis. Look from here, you could see the outside from here. And you see all the rooms in one axis, showing you the beginning where we came, and here the end of the temple. Look at this, guys. Can you see all of this? What is that black color here? Can you see the black color here? So you look at this black color. Why this black here?
Charcoal.
You know why? Because this is the last room where they put the god Amun. They put it in a boat, and they come here every day, and they carry the boat on shoulders, and they go around the temple rooms in order to spread to spread the blessing of the god Amun in all the corners of the temple. And after they finish, they come back here and they bring this boat on this kind of stone, which is the holiest stone in the temple here. This is why the people, they put their hands here to feel the blessing of the god Amun here. This was the place where the god goes every year, and the people, they come to get the blessing from the god. This is the Holy of the Holies. This place here, it is called the Holy of the Holies. It is in every temple, they have this kind of last room, and this last room, it has the temple god. Okay, anyway, who built this room? Who built the room? Yeah, Alexander the Great.
The Great.
Alexander the Great, 300 years BC. When he came here, he found who was here during this kind of time, Alexander the Great? The Persians. You know the Persians? They treated Egyptians in a very humiliating way. They were waiting for someone to save them from these people. So what happened? Alexander the Great, he decided to come here to conquer the Persians. The Persians, they were very, very aggressive, and they treated Egyptians in a very humiliating way. They were waiting for someone to save them, and this one was Alexander the Great. Alexander the Great, he said, I was born Egyptian. Amun is my father. Here is Amun. And he came here, he said, I came here to my father, Amun. This man was crazy. He believed in his heart. He belongs to Egypt. So he came to Egypt to save the Egyptians from the Persians. He came to Egypt as a savior, not as a conqueror. So Alexander the Great, not only this place he built many, many temples all over the country, built by Alexander the Great. And what happened? He left this empire to the Ptolemies. The Ptolemies, they ruled after he left Egypt. And what happened? That the last one of this kind of family, she was the queen Cleopatra, exactly. So Queen Cleopatra was the last one ruled 30 years BC. She had a war against the Romans, and they won the battle, and she lost the battle, but she has a great honor for herself and Egypt, and we are actually respect her because she was a great woman, killed herself for the sake of the country. Okay? Yalla, let's go.
Killed herself for the sake of the country. Not
Okay, we go all the way to the last now.
Okay.
Come on, everybody, this way.
Sure. Uma caixa no Nilo. Um local, sabe?
Missing anybody?
Things are good.
Watching out for land like
First of all, we got AC. Yeah, we time it.
Even spring break in March.
We're missing one?
That would be Steve. He's right there. He's with the security guy.
For the people of the city here to have this beautiful square. On your left you see how they are having nice time.
They have street lights here, baby. Traffic lights here. They have traffic lights here. Yeah.
Okay, let's go.
I've seen that. I don't need to try all that stuff.
Templos de Amun-Re, Amun-Re, la fachada, familia la fachada, el mapa, la orilla oriental, la orilla derecho.
Magic erasure.
Oh, there you are. site. Okay.
Every day, new ones are the same place.
See now the sun doesn't sting my skin now. When that sun is high, feel prickly. Huh?
She's a famous actress, actually.
Oh, yeah.
I think good eye. You can see the people when they can easily recognize them.
Come closer here, please.
This is the security gate.
Oh, excuse me.
اظن دي ممثله اللي كانت داخله دي
ممثلة.
ممثله عشان كده دخلوها قبل منك.
لا، ما انا قعدت شوية كده مش عارفين يخشوا.
بصيت لها كويس الممثله هي هند دي اسمها مش عارف التونسيه الاصلي. ايوه هي دي.
التونسية.
ايوه المشهوره دي.
ايوه
هي بص هنا وشها هي مشهوره كده شويه عشان كده بيتصوروا معاها في السكيورتي جيت انا بقول وقفوني. استغربت يعني.
Okay, everybody, come over here. Hindi Sabri. Okay, look at this. Could you see here? We have this temple here was built by Amun-Hotep III. Very great pharaoh, Amun-Hotep III. His son was called Akhenaten, and his wife was called Nefertiti. So they are a beautiful family, and also they had a son called Tutankhamun. It's a beautiful family, and this king, he built the temple here, and what happened that Ramses II, he came here and he added all this kind of statues of him in front of the original temple. Ramses II, he used to do that. He used to usurp the monuments of the other people by taking their temples and also removing their names and adding his name. So when you see Ramses II, too many of these kinds of monuments, it's a fake. He is not Ramses II making them, is somebody else. He was this kind of pharaoh stealing the monuments of the other kings. One of the obelisks here, can you see this one here? Is not here. There were two obelisks in front of the temple. One of them is missing here. Do you know where it is now?
Britain.
It is in Paris. Have you been in Paris?
Yes.
Yeah, it is in Paris, Place de la Concorde, the name of this kind of square. And what happened that the Egyptian king, his name was Muhammad Ali, he gave this obelisk to the French king as exchanging gifts. And what the French king gave him, do you remember?
The clock. That does
The broken clock. The broken clock, yeah.
And then the shop.
Yeah, anyway. Well, listen, guys. I used to come here with groups of students, and I used to tell them every time I come to this place, that kind of obelisk is leaning 1 degree to the left. And this is true. If you come back a little bit,
It's
look,
not
it is,
plumb.
Yeah, it is leaning to the left. So I was telling this to the students. They were funny guys, and I told them, guys, it is every time I come to this temple, this kind of obelisk, it is leaning 1 degree to the left. So one of the students said, "Stop coming."
Oh, right.
Oh, I love it.
Look at the baboons. Can you see baboons in
Yes.
front of the obelisk? Can you see the baboons?
Yep.
Gods of wisdom. The baboon was
We saw
God
that
of wisdom.
in the museum.
Okay. They are one single piece of granite. Granite from where?
Oh, from Aswan.
From Aswan, yes. Okay. This way.
So where Harold you see the temple, you see where they're
Yeah, there was a sort of mud bricks. They never ever used stone for the house. The house was a nice one, mud bricks, overlooking the river Nile. And when the king died, something like this, they saw this kind of the flood of the river Nile is every year, and this kind of fancy ones overlooking the river Nile. It's very stupid to use this kind of location of the palace that was in mud bricks and not using stone only for the temple and for the god.
No, that's the white. He wants a new house out here.
Okay,
Decorate.
this way.
Well, put it in the house when he wants to.
That's true.
We got 4 kings down there.
Stand here, look up there.
Oh.
Over is the temple. There is a mosque. That mosque is built during the Fatimid period.
AD, come to this corner here. And look what you see here. Above the blocks of the temple, can you see the door and the kind of minaret?
Yes.
It is a mosque, Muslim mosque. They came here in the 12th century when the temple was completely under the ground. Without knowing, they are building a mosque over this temple. They had this kind of mosque, and it was covering the temple until the Egyptologists they came and they moved all this kind of rubble and sand, and then they found the mosque. And this mosque now they don't use this kind of door. They have another door on the opposite side, and it is one of the monuments of this temple now. It is the mosque here, 12th century Muslim mosque. Okay, come this way. This room here, what you see, it's a big room here, and it was also built by Ramses II. He put all the statues, can you see in between the columns, statues, all of them Ramses II, and come to see his miserable wife. She is having a very, very little size woman between legs, and this was a humiliating way of having his wife. Come to see his wife. Her name was Nefertari, but not Nefertiti. Nefertiti, she was another one, and she was a beautiful one. This one here was Nefertari. She was his wife of Ramses II. Come to see her.
We have to steal everybody else.
Una sorpresa. Hemos dicho, dijimos ayer, que vais a ver, que van a ver cosas
Nefertari. Can you see Nefertari, wife of Ramses II? See, the little one. 110 sons, 70 wives.
Wow.
Ramses the Crazy.
That you know what
You see, all the statues are one single piece of granite. This way. Here is the god of the river Nile, two images of him, and he was called the god Happy. So this god, as you see here, he is having the lotus flower and the papyrus, symbols of Upper and Lower Egypt. So every pharaoh must unite Upper and Lower Egypt. Up till now, we still have this kind of way that where the north of Egypt is called Lower Egypt, and the south of Egypt is called Upper Egypt. You could see here that he is tying the two plants to show the union between Upper and Lower Egypt. Can you see this kind of knot here?
Yeah.
And look at the details. Can you see how fat he was?
Yeah.
Fatness here means richness.
Yeah.
When you are fat, it is richness. It means that you are rich. And you see, very nice work here, and the beautiful kind of details of this kind of carving is beautiful. This way.
Inscription of goddess Seshot. Seshot here, which at right side, she was an architect goddess who makes the most of the man for any temple, and chooses the area and the throne which came in this area.
Over here, 80. This is the original temple. The beginning of the original temple was built by Amenhotep III. Amenhotep III and his wife, the queen tea like the tea we drink. So they were beautiful couple. Look at the king here, Amenhotep III and his wife, and compare this couple with the couple we saw of Ramses II. What is the difference?
Oh, yeah, equal.
Equality, exactly, equality. This king here is the beginning of giving rights to the women, and he was a great broad-minded king, and he was showing his wife same size of him, and that was the beginning of the women rights.
Oh, yeah.
Amenhotep III.
Okay. Good information.
Yes. So now I call you Amenhotep. King Amenhotep.
There you go.
Believe in equality.
Mm-hmm.
Not trying to have me under his legs.
Mm-hmm. So when you compare this to Greeks, this is more detailed, you think?
Than what?
Greece?
No.
I do that.
No, they're much more detailed, but the site, what we're seeing is much more like rubble.
Okay.
But they can explain a lot about what it was
Look at
supposed to be and what it
the work.
represents.
Can you see this sort of drawing in between the blocks? So there is a house here. It is called Chicago House.
Chicago.
Permanent house here in Luxor, and their job always here. So the Temple of Luxor here, with all of the details of this kind of work, bringing all of this kind of columns and bringing them up and making a beautiful work. So they are actually making a great project of collecting all the pieces, the original pieces. They were neglected for many years, and they will put them together in order to reform the temple and get the original pieces to the original corner of the temple. And here they show how they are having the skill in order to complete any scene, because they have the experience of even if this kind of scene is broken, but they know what is the details of the scene by seeing only one single piece of rock of this kind of scene. So they are actually great in making a lot of restoration. A lot of this work was made by them. Chicago House, every year they come in this kind of season, starting from October till April. So when it is April and it is the weather started to be very hot, they leave and then they come for another season. Okay, but they have a permanent house here all the year. They work and they make a good job.
Okay,
so anyway, listen, guys.
That they're here again. You said until April. What time before?
From October
to April. Okay.
October till April.
Okay.
Then they stop and then they come in another season.
So why do they allow some doing some of this in some places, in other places they say no, we have to keep everything exactly the way it fell down?
Well, actually, they are trying to rebuild the temple.
They are trying to rebuild
the temple. Yeah, the temple is missing a lot of original pieces. So what they do, they try to imagine what is the scene, how it looks like. So they are making this kind of beautiful drawing in order to show, and maybe with the beautiful kind of project they make, maybe they will find the rest of the other pieces and they will take them and put them. They will need sort of computer and they make all of this. We will see this kind of job they did, and it is really beautiful. Okay, anyway, listen guys, what do they take from Egypt? Those people, they come to work in Egypt here. They are foreigners from different kind of place in Europe, and they come here and we leave them to work by their own budget. So we don't pay anything. So they come here and they do this, and if they find something valuable, something very good to discover, they leave it in Egypt. They are not allowed to take it outside the border of Egypt. It's a kind of crime. It's a crime to do this. If you are having any piece original, don't take it from Egypt. And if you do that, you will be in trouble. When you go to this kind of border, expert people, they will check you and see what do you carry. If they find some piece original, you will be in big trouble. In such a case, what do you do?
Just call mom and say I won't be home.
Don't mention my name.
Your name. AT said we can have this.
Antes no. Eso es más importante, el conocimiento que se queda en la historia de una cabeza a otra, de una lengua a otra.
Byla jenom voda, nebo byl prácia. A tak ještě vznikl z vody ostrov. Na ostrově byl Bůh, kterého stvořil sám sebe, byl Bůh Phnom, kterou stvořil sám sebe, a taky stvořil světa. A potom rostly a květly.
Chicago House, they did one big mistake. They work here for almost 50 years. So what happened, they announced no more to discover under the floor of this temple. And that was a big mistake. Because what happened, that there was a boy here sweeping the floor. And you don't believe that. He found a head of a statue. Here, right here, a head of a statue. And what happened, they came here, all the professional ones, and they started making this a big kind of hole here, and they found a complete statue of Amenhotep III, quartzite stone. It is really beautiful. And what happened, that they started to enlarge that scale of digging here, and they found another 27 statues in wonderful condition. Beautiful treasure, and it is called Luxor Cache. Luxor Cache now, it is in the Museum of Luxor in a private section. It is wonderful kind of a discovery, and that was a big mistake by Chicago House not to say this kind of announce that no more to discover. And this miserable boy, he discovered this kind of head and guided us to that beautiful discovery.
So was this 2 levels then? It was going on another level? Because if they discovered it down here, they got a level up here.
Actually, it was right here. Okay. And what happened, it was right under the surface of the ground, and he found just the head, and then he called the
they got the rest of it out.
Egyptologists to come to go deeper and dug it. Okay, 80.
This way. Pero después el brazo de Maradona borró todo. La mano de Dios, pero el brazo de Maradona 86 borró todo de la mano de Dios. Así callado, nada más.
So, liebe Gäste, kommen wir bitte ein bisschen nach vorne, damit wir die anderen Danke sehr.
Well, here we have this room. It was used as a Coptic Christian church. The Christians had a great kind of well in order to make this kind of religion, and they were having a kind of problem that the Romans they were chasing them. So they came here and they were hiding in the temple of the god Amun. Even they refused the god Amun, and they asked the people to go for Christianity, but they were sheltered by the god Amun. The god Amun was here helping them and protecting them, and by the power of the god Amun, the Romans, they would never attack them. So that was a very smart idea. Even they are not anymore worshipping the god Amun, but anyway, he gave them the power to stay here, and the Romans, they would never arrest them. Anyway, they came here and they used this kind of material to cover all the hieroglyphic and all the Egyptian scenes. You could see that. You could see this kind of material they put here. Can you see this?
Yeah.
This material is to just to cover the hieroglyphic. The original wall was decorated by the hieroglyphic and all of these scenes. Anyway, they put this kind of material to prepare it for a church and use it as a church. But anyway, the material was not strong enough to stay, so it started collapsing, and now we can see the original colors and original scenes of the temple. Okay. This way, they call it fresco.
Oh, fresco.
Yeah,
Okay.
that kind of white they put over the hieroglyphic walls. They call it fresco.
So let me ask you a question real quick. What is this represent?
This is life.
That's life.
It is called Ankh. Ankh. Yeah, this is life. It's always in hands of the god.
Yes,
give it to the king, and through the nose, smell it and get the power. Okay.
Does it have anything to do with the Coptic person?
This way. I like it. Yep.
Does that symbol have anything to do with the Coptic?
Very similar. Many of these kind of people from the time of Christianity, they tried to link between the Come over here. Can you see the people with the brown color? Yeah. Remember that they actually carrying this kind of boat above their shoulders, where the god was inside that kind of boat, and they go around the temple every day in order to spread the blessing of the god in all the corners of the temple. Can you see them how they carry the boat on shoulders?
Yeah.
This is clear. Can you see that one? That middle one there? Can you see the color? The people there, they are painted brown. Can you see the color brown? Yeah. And see the extension of the scene here. Look at the details of the scene of how they do this. Very important kind of ceremony. They do it every day, carrying the boat on shoulder with the statue of the god inside, and walk around the temple every day in order to spread the god blessing and to keep the temple in good shape. This way. Listen, guys. You remember this morning when we saw this last room in the temple of Karnak? And do you remember who built that room? Alexander the Great. Alexander the Great. Alexander the Great came here and also built this room. So Alexander the Great, as I told you, he said that he born Egyptian and he saved the Egyptian from whom? from Persians. The Persians, they were treating them in a very humiliating way. Alexander the Great, he came. Yes, give him a way, please. Give him a way. Okay, anyway, this was a sort of great kind of support from Alexander the Great to the Egyptians, and he came here and he left us all of these rooms. He built it by himself, and actually Alexander the Great was believing in his heart that he belongs to Egypt.
Put all of this for Egypt. All of these people up here. All of these on here too. Did he do all this stuff?
This room, all of the.
But what I mean is, did he do the hieroglyphs here too?
Yeah.
To replicate.
Yeah. They have to fill the space. Yeah. All of these scenes are adding to the rooms in order to fill it all with the scenes of the gods and the kings. And actually, there is a funny story that this king. Alexander the Great, he came here and he asked the priest of the temple, I want to put my name in this royal cartouche. He said to him, okay sir, what is your name? He said to him, my name is Alexander. He said to him, Alexander? He said to him, Alexander. He kept repeating, Alexander. He said to him, my name, it has L. He said, we don't have L in hieroglyphic. So that's true. From that moment, they made the line, seated line, as the letter L added to the hieroglyphic. So from the time of the Ptolemies and Alexander the Great before, that this kind of sign became the letter L. And, yeah, okay. This way.
بنت الممثلة ولا لسه؟ طلعت هي ولا لا؟
هي.
صح؟
هي لطيفة.
لا لطيفة خالص، هم شكلهم كده جايين في مهمة يعني. عبادية.
Mood lighting.
This is the most important scene in the Temple of Luxor, because of which this temple was built. Can you see the scene here? Come closer. We never had this kind of picture and how clear like today. Can you see? So what happened that Amenhotep III, the builder of this temple, his wife, she was called the Queen T. The Queen T, she was half Egyptian, half Syrian. And that was against the rules. How come the Queen of Egypt is half Egyptian and half Syrian? And the Syrians were enemies at that time. So what happened? She came here and she said to the father of the temple, help me. The people are very angry and they refused me because I am half Egyptian, half Syrian. He said, well, don't worry, I'll make you divine. Come here. This is her mother, and here the god Amun. And what they do, they are touching hands. Can you see the touch?
Yeah.
Can you see the super touch of the god? And by this super touch, what happened? The woman became pregnant. Her mother, she became pregnant, this one, by this super touch of the god. And by this way, the Queen T, she had the full right to be a queen of Egypt, and she became pure Egyptian. And by this kind of way, no one objecting, and she was a great lady. And her husband, Amenhotep III, who built this temple, he was a great man. He allowed her to sit beside him and with the same height, and he was a very broad-minded king. Actually, he also did a great kind of support for his son. His son was called Akhenaten, and Akhenaten was a great boy because his father was very broad-minded. He made him a great man, and he was a great philosopher. Akhenaten was a great one. He showed himself with his body ugly, very ugly his body, but he didn't have any kind of way to show his body in a nice way. No, he showed his body real, and by this way he asked the people to be real in their lives. So he wants the people to enjoy their lives. So many people, they don't show their body if their body is not nice. So by this way, he gave them a lesson: enjoy your life, even your body is not that nice.
Yes.
His name is
Nobody saying.
His name is Akhenaten. Akhenaten, he married the most beautiful lady. She was called Nefertiti. Yeah. Okay. Come this way.
Her name was Jorah. Excuse us.
Here is Chicago House Project. Chicago House Project. Can you see all these pieces? They were completely neglected for many years. So like a couple of years ago, they came here and they collected all these pieces and they put them in a certain kind of order and giving them numbers, and they started joining pieces together, and they planning to come back and to resume this kind of project, and it is really need a lot of money, a lot of fund. So maybe they are waiting until they get this kind of fund to resume this kind of work. It is 50 pieces, 50,000 pieces, sorry, 50,000 pieces. You see how they are actually very serious in making this kind of project, and big number of pieces they join together. Can you see this? Come and have a look. Come and have a look. All the pieces.
Yeah, so he's talking about the Oriental history. I was thinking that.
They were neglected.
And that's why.
Yeah. And the temple was not having all of the pieces are not original. So they need to put this original pieces inside the original corner. Yeah. So they put them together, try to join them. A beautiful work. And even showing the period of time. And you see the English details.
They did a whole thing on how to do it. See the enemies. And they have a guy dressed up just like that.
Open air museum.
Yes. Definitely.
Places of colors. All these round ones.
Education. Nerdy.
Well, that's church to a mosque. And you know, the architects, if you want to make a building, he could be, most of the artists are not having a religion. So they are without any religion. So they make all of these kind of churches or mosques very similar design. Yeah, right.
Yeah, I was telling Linda, one time I took,
be careful.
One time I took Navaya when she was younger. One Halloween, she was at Oriental Institute, and they had a whole thing on how the mummies were
preserved.
Here
Yeah.
you can see the letter T. Can you see the line? See the line? Ptolemys. Ptolemys, yeah. Look at the baboon here.
So now we understand the symbol of the baboon. All through the.
So this is the cartouche, and it was broken here, so they added the missing letters. This is one. They did a good job here completing all the missing pieces. Only this is original.
I see. Wow.
And this also original, but dark from the weather. But they know the rest of all of the scene because they've seen all of this kind of scenes a lot. They repeat, by the way. If you go to any temple, you find a lot of similar scenes on the walls of the temple. Egyptian government, they will never do. They just leave it. Waiting for somebody else.
Chicago, there you go. Let her start donating.
What's the University of Chicago?
Yes. They don't have to worry about any short circuit because there's no rain. Right.
All of those intelligent, educated people that have made the money donate to the Chicago project.
ejemplo, estamos haciendo ofrendas aquí. El templo de Karnak en el templo de Luxor. Pero cuando el rey Ejnatón cambió la capital de Egipto, cambió la arquitectura, cambió la religión, a otra ciudad se llama Temple of Amun-Re, no en Luxor, a otra ciudad se llama Temple of Amun-Re, que está cerca de aquí. La gente empezó a hacer su ofrenda en otra ciudad, Temple of
Ja, das ist ja jetzt nicht mehr da. Aber das ist viel aufgrund der Hitze. Jetzt nicht da.
E come abbiamo detto, fino a qualche anno fa, tutto il Viale stava sotto le case, e le chiese, e le moschee. Sì.
So he decided to give him the two obelisks in front of Luxor Temple. The king of France took the first obelisk and it took him 3 years.
Oh, you dropped something.
Your ticket.
Yeah, you dropped your ticket.
Did you want your ticket? I'll get it.
Thank you, baby. Yeah, you dropped your ticket.
We wouldn't want them to throw you out.
No, I can't get kicked out. I'd be asking Chicago people to bail me out.
Oh, yeah.
You get fund all this
We'll have
stuff.
to call the University of Chicago. Get the Chicago.
Yeah, the
Maybe he'll work on
Chicago.
the Chicago project.
There you go.
in
Right.
October.
Right. But they call it the Chicago Syndicate.
Problem is they're making a big mistake if they let me replace
So you gotta earn your bill somehow.
There you go.
Don't get into the whole question you asked.
Por aquí, Habibi. Papers. First kind of paper it is. The papyrus paper, when the ancient Egyptians thought of making paper, they tested the fibers of different plants
They found out that this plant has got very strong fibers inside, and this plant is an aquatic plant. It needs much water to grow, and it's a tropical plant. It grows until 3 meters tall. And the ancient Egyptians considered this plant as a holy plant. Holy plant.
Holy.
Sacred.
Holy. Okay.
In other words.
Yes.
Why? Because the stem. If you look at the stem, when it's big, it looks like 3 sides, triangular, looks like the pyramids. And the pyramids are symbols of eternity and everlasting life. Also the flower, when it's big, it looks like the golden rays of the sun. The symbol of Amun-Re, the god of the sun at that time. How to make papyrus papers in brief? The ancient Egyptians used to gather the plants from the swamps and the marshes, and they used to cut the stem into required size. For example, if they wanted to make a big one like this, you cut big pieces of the stems. Small one like this, you cut small pieces of the stems. I'm going to make a sample for you. Sorry. Thank you, sir. The next step is doing what? Is removing the outer green part. This outer green part is very strong and flexible as well. The ancient Egyptians made use of that. They used it to make baskets, slippers, poles.
Baskets, okay.
Yeah.
To make papyrus paper, they needed this white inner part. So they used to divide it into slices. Just to slice it like this. But these slices are not flexible enough, not strong. Why? It's strong, but it can be damaged. Because there is an amount of air gaps here and water. How to make them flexible and strong? The ancient Egyptians used the wooden hammer like this. Gently, not so hard. And yes, and then a rolling pin to squeeze the slices to get rid of the water completely, so that you can get very strong slices. Very flexible. After that, they must be soaked in water for 6 days to get white papyrus like this one, for 2 weeks to get brown, which looks antique. There. And we have this also kind of papyrus, which looks like the ancient ones and the tombs, which were found in the tombs nowadays in the museums. It was holes like this. It's a passage of time. Looks antique. Then after 6 days, we bring 2 pieces of carpet. But for the ancient Egyptian, they used the leather of animal or linen, and here are the slices after being soaked in water for 6 days. They become a little bit yellow and they become sticky. We arrange them like this. And vertical, and then horizontal. The slices must be overlapped. After completing the vertical, we arrange the horizontal one. Like this. 2 layers. The slices must, after the slices must be overlapped. We don't weave, no weaving. Then we cover the slices to put them under a very heavy pressure. Nowadays we use a hand press. But for the ancient Egyptians, they used the stones and massive rocks to press slices together. For how long? For 6 days. We will wait for 6 days.
Okay.
Here's the one we made earlier. You can see the vertical and the horizontal lines clearly. And you can roll it. And no damage, you can roll it like this, no cracks, because this is a real papyrus. No cracks at all. And here, no damage. This is a genuine. And it can receive any kind of color or ink. And here we can also use our normal pen to write on it. Yeah, what can we write? Any statement? Welcome.
I love you.
I love you. We love you too.
Let long life.
Let long. To be or not to be, that is a question.
Yeah.
But we change it, to buy or not to buy. Here is can be raised by water. It means that this is washable, can be washed in water and no damage, because this is a real house. Then we get this together as a set.
Okay.
Then we deal with many different artists to blend the pictures, and each picture has got a story behind. I would like to tell you about this one. It's called the Tree of Life, on which you can see 5 birds representing the 5 stages of the human being: babyhood, childhood, youth, maturity, and the age of wisdom. The Judgment Day, which is the story of the afterlife. Here is the dead man after death, and here is the scale of justice. Again, this is where the heart of the dead man again is the feather of justice. If the heart is heavier, it means that this man was a bad man. If the feather is heavier, if this man was a good man, how to stay? A good man to the paradise. And the origin of this one is kept nowadays in the British Museum. We've got this, the first calendar in the history. You can see 4 counters of the god Horus, presenting north, south, east, and west. 4 shapes of the gods of the sky representing the 4 seasons of the year. Together, that 12 called month of the year. 24 hands, 24 hours of the day inside the calendar, all directions. Before we look around, I would like to show you this shape. It's called cartouche. The ancient Egyptians used it to write down the names of the kings and the queens, because they believed that this shape keeps an name for immortal life, gives the name happiness and prosperity. Nowadays, we use it to write your names. If you want, we have an artist who can write the name right now, like his name, Alex. A-L-E-X. We've got single cartouche to write for name, we've got double cartouche to write the names together. Good for families, father, mother, children. Like this name Alex in hieroglyphic language. It costs you just $3 to write one name extra as a price of the pictures, and each picture has got the numbers. Blue one, the number in red, the price is in Egyptian pounds, divided by 50. $1 American is 50 equal 50 Egyptian. And you will get 10% discount for small ones and 15% discount for big ones. For example, this is 2,350 minus 10% off divided by 50. It's about $43. And we can roll it up for you in a very strong tube with a guarantee certificate. And you can pay by credit cards. You can pay later on if you don't have money now. If you don't buy, you will be punished. Just kidding. And here I am going to show you pictures of the glow on the darkness. If you look at this one, the Tree of Life became a calendar. This glowed in the darkness. Now look at it. Egyptian calendar became a Tree of Life when we turned off the lights. This glowed in the lights. We've got also another room is specialized in this. Okay? Zodiac signs behind also can glow in the darkness with their name, which is written in hieroglyphic language. Thank you for paying attention. I hope you have enjoyed such demonstration. You can get welcome drink and have a free round to choose it over. Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, it's a great presentation.
There was a bird like that outside our window the other day. The one with the top feather. It was orange. It was black. Here? Yeah, the last hotel. We're sitting outside and it's like,
Yes, sir. Ask him. It's hibiscus.
Hibiscus.
Very good for blood.
Oh, I grow a hibiscus.
Yeah, you said you get that name. Yeah. Shall I show you?
How long would we have to wait for the
Which one? For the names?
Yes.
Right now. About 5 Egyptian minutes. No, not right now. We can.
5 Egyptian minutes. Right.
My colleague will come.
No, it's not sweet, but it's got that same hibiscus flavor.
No, I was just going to use my name, just Faith.
Yes, okay, you can write over there.
Okay.
Yeah? From where to? How many persons do you have? Here, here. No, but that makes sense. Yeah. For example, for girls or boys? Good. It's more difficult like this. This one was protection, like this. And you get 50% discount like that. How much, I'm sorry, how much is that? For each one? No, for this one. Oh, you get each one? Yeah, a present, yeah. This is what I mean. Okay, so how much? Sir, I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No photo.
Oh, okay.
Just the demonstration.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
No, I will add that.